It's all about how you talk to yourself. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. And by breaking those limiting beliefs, thinking more positive, it's really gonna help you raise that level of self-awareness to the point where nobody's gonna be able to stop you. What up, F7 family? It's your boy Trev. Today we talking self-awareness and how you can use it to live a happier, more successful life. I was first really put onto the term self-awareness when I started watching Gary Vee back in 2015-16.
There's no such thing as too much self-awareness. There's such a thing as too much judgment on oneself. Too much self-awareness doesn't have any negative impact. If you know more about yourself, that's wonderful. And everyone here needs to judge themselves just a little less.
Because he's always talking about you gotta know your strengths, you gotta know your weaknesses, you gotta know the things you like to do and the things you hate to do. That way you can get the most out of life and be happy. Because if you watch Gary, you know that he's not preaching get rich, do all this crazy stuff, blah, blah, blah. He's preaching be happy in every aspect of life. If you're okay being the entrepreneur, the number one go-getter, the hustler, go out there and grind your face off and be happy doing it. If you're not really that guy or girl and you're more comfortable being the number 7, be number 7 and embrace that role and be happy doing it. And that all really stems from being self-aware and understanding self-awareness and what that means for each individual who might be watching this video. So today we're gonna break it down a little bit and we're gonna talk about things that you can do to actually start raising that self-awareness, to start getting the results that you want out of life. First off, let's talk about what being self-aware even means. Being self-aware means having a deep understanding of yourself, including your emotions, your thoughts, your beliefs, motivations, and behaviors. It involves being conscious of your own personality, values, strengths, weaknesses, and how you interact with the world around you. Self-aware individuals can accurately recognize their emotions as they arise and understand the reasons behind their feelings and their actions. So basically what that means is you're just alert. You're aware of the things happening around you and the way you respond to those things. One of the things that sticks out to me that my mom and dad taught me growing up as a kid is to respond to things and not react to things. And being able to do that comes from being self-aware of what's happening, how I feel about those things, how you feel about those things, and then how you're gonna go about responding to said circumstances in your life. And now don't confuse self-awareness with self-consciousness because they're very different. Self-awareness is an inward focus on understanding oneself, one's inner thoughts, emotions, and behavior patterns. It leads to a more objective and insightful comprehension of one's strengths, weaknesses, and overall identity. Self-awareness empowers individuals to make conscious decisions, develop emotional intelligence, improve their relationships, and work on personal growth. All the types of things that we like to do here at F7. Self-consciousness, on the other hand, is an outward focus on how others perceive or judge us, which typically results in a heightened awareness of our appearance, our behaviors, and our actions. Usually it leads to a distorted perception of oneself based on social comparisons and fear of judgment from other people. Self-consciousness often then leads to anxiety, social discomfort, and just being way too wrapped up in what other people think about you. Self-awareness is a positive and constructive trait that fosters personal growth and emotional intelligence. It involves an honest and non-judgmental exploration of oneself. On the other hand, self-consciousness, while not inherently negative, it can sometimes be limiting when it leads to excessive worry about how others perceive us, potentially hindering personal development and genuine self-expression. Developing your self-awareness involves self-reflection, seeking feedback from others, practicing mindfulness, and actively working on understanding and accepting yourself despite what anybody else thinks. Self-reflection is a major key here because you really gotta know yourself. And this is where, when I've spoke on journaling, this is where that comes in clutch. It's so important to spend just a few minutes with yourself in your journal every morning and every evening to set the tone in the morning. That way you know what you want to do throughout your day, and in the evening to take stock and to see how you did and to reflect on the progress that you made. Right here's my journal, very simple. I put the date and I jot down what I want to jot down. Some days it's short, some days it's long, some days I fill a couple different pages. This is something that's going to be unique to every single individual. I just highly recommend spending a few minutes with yourself every single day. I believe that you'll be thankful for it down the road. Recognizing your strengths and weaknesses is vital to raising your self-awareness. When you understand your strengths and what you're good at, and when you understand your weaknesses and what you're not so good at, it's really easy to maneuver throughout the day and to make better decisions on the course of action that you should take. For example, someone who's extremely handy with tools and understands how to build and replace and fix things, they're gonna have a lot more success and be a lot happier working in a garage than they would working in an office. And vice versa, someone who loves taking care of people, whether that's babies, the elderly, etc., they're gonna have a lot more fun, they're gonna have a lot more success working in a hospital or a nursing home or something of the sort versus working at a grocery store. Understanding your strengths, understanding your weaknesses is a major key in making decisions that are gonna lead to more happiness and more success in your life. Understanding your emotions and responses to those emotions is also a major key in raising that self-awareness. Like I touched on earlier in the video, one of the things that sticks out to me that my mom and dad taught me is respond and not react. This may be difficult at first. It was for me as well. But when things happen that we don't agree with, that we don't like, instead of just reacting instantly and just blurting out how we feel, it's best to just stop and take a few seconds and to think about what it is that's happening and how we would like to respond in order to get a better result. Most of the times when things happen in life, the knee-jerk reaction is not always the best reaction. It's always good to go with your gut and to listen to your instinct, yes. However, sometimes it is good to stop, pause, ponder what's happening, and to really think and make a good decision about how you want to respond to whatever circumstances are playing out in your life. By learning to pause and take those few seconds, it's going to allow you time to think about how those circumstances make you feel. This is all going to lead to self-awareness, so when these things happen again in your life, you're better equipped on how to respond to those circumstances. It's just time in the field. Experience is your best teacher in life. Are you going to go through it, or are you going to grow through it? Don't just go through things, grow through things. So the next time life tries to knock you off, stop, take a few seconds to pause, think about how it makes you feel, think about the outcome you want, and then go ahead and start making those right decisions to get towards that outcome. The next thing you can do to raise your awareness is to break those limiting beliefs. For those who don't know what a limiting belief is, the concept of limiting beliefs refers to deeply ingrained negative thought patterns or beliefs that individuals hold about themselves, others, or the world around them. These beliefs are often formed early in life based on past experiences, upbringing, cultural influences, or significant emotional events. Limiting beliefs are called so because they can constrain an individual's personal growth, potential, and ability to achieve their goals. Now, I want to talk about that because most of these limiting beliefs are the result of some external circumstance that happened to people in their life. It was the way that they grew up. It was the way their mom and dad didn't love them. It was the way they were treated at school by bullies. It was their poor grades. It was their lack of success in sports. It was whatever. You fill in the blank. I hate to break it to you guys, but that was out of your control. So why are you going to let that control you? Greatness created you, therefore greatness is already inside of you. Every single one of those limiting beliefs, it's a lot like fear. You know how I said fear, the acronym for fear is false expectations appearing real? Most of these limiting beliefs are things that we hold in our head, we believe, but it's not really actually true. It's like 85% of the things that human beings worry about on a daily basis never come true. It's the same with these limiting beliefs. They're stories that we've told ourselves over and over and over again that become a belief system that we then think is just the truth. I'm not good enough. I don't deserve success. I'll never be able to change. I'm too young. I'm too old. I'm too this. I'm too that. You just got to forget all that stuff. You got to get active, one foot in front of the other, brick by brick, day by day, minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day, week by week, month by month, and work to get closer to your goals. It's up to you. No one's coming to save you. You can either sit and wallow in that negative belief system, or you can do the things you need to do to start thinking positive, become more self-aware, understand that a lot of those things that happened in your past were out of your control, so it's not anything you even need to worry about. Start using that to practice mindfulness, be more present, and work towards a positive future. When it comes to those limiting beliefs, one of the best things you can do is challenge it. Ask the question, is this really how I think it is? Get to the source. Do some research. Do some studying. Is there any actual evidence that this belief of mine is true? Most of the times you're going to find out that it's not. Positive affirmations are also another amazing way to get over those limiting beliefs. You ever hear somebody say fake it till you make it? I'm not down with fakers, but let's not dig too deep into that saying. What that basically means is you need to visualize and pretend as if, so that way the universe can attract to you what it is you desire. Start speaking the complete opposite of whatever that negative belief is. Like me with this video, that little voice in the back of my head saying, Trev, don't even do this. Trev, you don't know what you're talking about. Trev, no one's gonna watch. You know what I'm telling myself? Yeah, Trev, you do know what you're talking about. Yeah, Trev, this video is gonna be fire. Yeah, Trev, this video is gonna get the most views on your entire channel. Yes, Trev, yes, Trev, yes, Trev. Instead of no, Trev, no, Trev, no, Trev. It's all about how you talk to yourself. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. And by breaking those limiting beliefs, thinking more positive, it's really gonna help you raise that level of self-awareness to the point where nobody's gonna be able to stop you. The last thing we're gonna touch on to raise that self-awareness is practicing mindfulness. Now, mindfulness is a practice that enhances self-awareness by encouraging individuals to observe their thoughts, emotions, and behaviors without judgment. You can't judge yourself in this process. By staying present in the moment and cultivating a non-identification with thoughts, mindfulness allows for a deeper understanding of recurring thought patterns, emotional reactions, and bodily sensations. This increased self-awareness helps individuals recognize triggers, respond consciously rather than react impulsively, and identify behavioral patterns. Through regular mindfulness practices like meditation and mindful breathing, individuals can develop self-compassion, acceptance, and a greater understanding of themselves, leading to personal growth and a more grounded and conscious approach to life. aka more happiness and more success. All right, y'all, that's where we're gonna wrap up the video. I hope this video helped you all get a better understanding of how to raise your self-awareness and some of the things that you guys can be doing on a daily basis to start working towards that happier, successful version of yourself. As always, thank you all for pulling up and showing love. If you guys like this type of content, please make sure to smash that like and subscribe button. Also smack that bell as well to turn on notifications so you never miss any of our content. I love y'all. Hope you have a blessed rest of your day. Peace.